A teacher helps a poor child at school. Years later, the student returns as a famous billionaire. My morning started like any other. Half-cold coffee, a stack of ungraded papers, and a squeaky classroom heater trying its best to fight off the chill of late October. I was on my third year teaching at Westbridge Public School, in a district forgotten by most except when budget cuts came knocking. It was homeroom when he walked in. Thin frame. Oversized hoodie. Eyes down. No backpack. No introduction. The school had given me a heads up. New transfer. White kid. From a group home. Name's Eli. He didn't say much that day, or any day for weeks. Sat in the back. Never turned in homework. Never joined class discussions. Kids mostly ignored him. One or two poked fun, but he never flinched. Just sat like stone. But I noticed things. He read faster than anyone else. Finished every classroom book before I even assigned them. Once I caught him fixing an old Chromebook when he thought no one was watching. Another time he corrected a math mistake on the board, without saying a word, just wrote the right answer in the corner and walked out. I tried reaching out. Need help with the assignment, Eli? No. Do you want to stay after class and work on your writing? He shrugged. The breakthrough came one afternoon during indoor lunch. A fight had broken out near the stairwell. While staff ran to break it up, I found Eli crouched in the hallway, arms around a crying first grader. Hey, I said gently, kneeling down beside them. Everything okay? He looked up, eyes wide. He got scared. The noise. He thought they were gonna hit him. I blinked. And you stayed with him? He shrugged again. Someone had to. That day I gave him something small. A paperback copy of Ender's Game. For the someone who stayed, I said. He didn't say thank you. But the next day he returned the book, bookmarked, annotated with sticky notes. A quiet genius. But no one saw him. No one but me. 6 months later, the school organized a field trip to the city science center. For most kids, it was a routine bus ride and an excuse to miss math class. For Eli, it was the first time I saw wonder on his face. The planetarium dome, the robotics lab, the exhibits on artificial intelligence. All of it lit him up in a way nothing else had. We were watching a demonstration on drone technology when the lead technician asked the group, "Who can tell me how GPS triangulation works?" Crickets. Until Eli raised his hand. Everyone turned. The technician, amused, nodded. "Go ahead, kid." Eli explained it flawlessly. Terms, formulas, everything. The staff member raised an eyebrow. "Where'd you learn that?" "Online," he said. "In the library." The next week Eli vanished. Just like that. No warning. No transfer notice. No one in the office could tell me what happened. He was moved, was all they'd say. I searched. Called shelters. Group homes. Nothing. It was like the boy in the back row had never existed. But I remembered. And quietly I kept the copy of Ender's Game he had returned. His sticky notes still in place. I didn't know why. Just couldn't bring myself to throw it away. 15 years passed. I left Westbridge. Got a job at a better-funded school closer to the city. Taught thousands of students. Still kept that copy of Ender's Game in my desk drawer. I was grading tests after school one rainy Thursday when the principal's voice buzzed through the intercom. "Mrs. Harper, there's someone here to see you. He doesn't have an appointment, but I think you'll want to make time." I sighed, rubbing my eyes. "Send him in." A man stepped into my classroom. Sharp navy suit. Polished shoes. Watch that looked like it cost more than my car. I stood to greet him. And then I saw his face. Thinner. Older. Sharper jawline. But it was him. "Eli." I whispered. He smiled. "Took you a minute." I covered my mouth, shocked. "Oh my God. What? How?" He chuckled softly. "Let me start with thank you." "For what?" "For seeing me. Back then. When no one else did." I sat down, stunned. He took the seat across from me, placing something on the desk. It was a business card. Eli Keene, founder and CEO Novatech Ventures. I stared. "You're the Eli Keene?" He nodded. "Started my first tech company at 19. Sold it at 22. Now I'm trying to build something that gives back." I shook my head in disbelief. "You disappeared. I looked for you." "I know," he said. "They moved me to a foster center upstate. No notice. I lost every connection overnight. But I never forgot you. I reached into my drawer. Pulled out the book. His eyes widened. You kept it. I nodded. It reminded me of you. Of what potential looks like when the world tries to bury it. He smiled. I came here for a reason. I'm starting a foundation. Scholarships. Tech programs for underserved students. I want to name it after you. I blinked. After me. He leaned forward. The Harper Initiative. For teachers who believe in invisible kids. My eyes burned. And in that moment I realized. Sometimes the greatest seeds we plant don't bloom for years. But when they do, they change everything. The next few weeks felt like a dream. True to his word, Eli launched the Harper Initiative in record time. His team sent formal invites to every major tech CEO, education reformer, and nonprofit leader in the country. And somehow in the middle of that whirlwind he insisted on one thing. Mrs. Harper, he said during a video call, you're the guest of honor. I laughed. I don't even own a dress that fits into a gala. He smiled through the screen. Then I'll send one. And he did. Along with a pair of silver heels, a handwritten note tucked into the box. You saw me when I had nothing. Let the world see you now. E. The event was held at the Crystal Pavilion in downtown Manhattan. Red carpet, cameras, tuxedos, the kind of event I'd only seen on TV. And yet somehow Eli made me feel like I belonged. He guided me through the grand entrance, cameras flashing. Tonight's not about me, he whispered. It's about every kid sitting in the back row waiting to be seen. But it wasn't all applause and smiles. Just before the ceremony began, a sharply dressed woman with a clipboard approached us. Her name was Lana Redgrave, board member for Eli's parent company and one of the initiative's top early investors. She didn't bother with pleasantries. We need to talk, she said, pulling Eli aside. I watched from a distance, the warmth draining from his face as she spoke. After a moment he returned, his jaw tight. She's threatening to pull funding, he said quietly. What? Why? She says naming the foundation after a small-town teacher is bad optics. Claims it lacks brand value. I blinked. That's ridiculous. She wants to rebrand it, Eli said, voice clipped. Call it the Keen Initiative. What are you going to do? I asked. He looked at me for a long time. And then said, I'm going to give them something they can't ignore. The lights dimmed. The music softened. Eli took the stage in front of over 700 guests. Behind him, an LED screen displayed glowing logos of corporate sponsors and campaign goals. He cleared his throat, voice steady but eyes blazing with something deeper. I'd like to tell you about a woman who changed the trajectory of my life. Her name is Abigail Harper. A spotlight hit my table. Guests turned. My cheeks flushed. I met her when I was 12, he continued. A scared, hungry, angry kid who had nothing. No backpack. No home. Not even a pencil. I expected her to ignore me like everyone else. But she didn't. He paused. She saw me. Silence. She gave me a book. A conversation. Reason to try. She didn't save me with grand gestures, she saved me with consistency. And tonight I stand before you not just as a billionaire or entrepreneur, but as someone who owes everything to a teacher who refused to give up on a quiet boy in the back row. He gestured to the screen behind him. The logo changed. The Harper Initiative. Empowering teachers. Elevating students. The crowd erupted into applause. But Lana Redgrave didn't clap. She stood up. Walked out. Eli watched her go, then turned back to the audience. Funding or no funding, we move forward. Because real change doesn't wait for permission. The entire room stood to their feet. That night, the Harper Initiative received over $14 million in private pledges. But the real surprise came later. As I stepped outside for air, Eli followed. He handed me an envelope. What's this? I asked. Just something I've been working on, he said. Inside, a legal deed. My name. A property address. A title transfer. A school. I whispered. A school, he nodded. Harper Academy. Fully funded. Your curriculum. Your vision. I want you to run it. Tears welled in my eyes. But why give me all this? I asked. I just did my job. No, Eli said gently. You changed a life. And that's what changes the world. The Harper Academy opened 6 months later. Nestled in the heart of the city, the school focused on underserved students with gifted potential. Full scholarships, mentorship programs, a tech lab named after Ender's Game. Eli visited often, sometimes to speak, sometimes to quietly sit in the back and watch the next generation bloom. But something lingered, a shadow in his expression when no one was looking. One evening, after most students had gone, I found him alone in the library, staring at an old picture of a group home. I sat beside him. "You've built something amazing. But you're still carrying something." He hesitated, then spoke. "The woman who tried to shut down the foundation. Lana, she's my birth mother." I froze. "I found out years ago. He gave me up when I was 4. Never visited. Never wrote. But when I built my first company, she reappeared, through back channels, invested under a different name." He swallowed. "She always saw me as an asset. A name to mold. She hated the Harper Initiative because it reminded her that someone else raised me." I was stunned. "I let her near me," he continued, "because part of me still hoped she'd say she was proud. But all she cared about was control." I placed a hand on his shoulder. "And what did you say to her?" He smiled softly. "I told her I already had a mother figure, and her name was Abigail Harper." I blinked back tears. In that quiet library, surrounded by books and the hum of possibility, I finally understood. Eli's story wasn't just about success. It was about reclaiming a future stolen by abandonment, and returning it with interest. Not in dollars, but in dignity.